Get sick and tired of falling in your hands. Demons hiding, you designing. I'm trapped in your hands. Higher power, my desire. I'm stuck in your hands. False messiah, you a liar. I'm caught in your hands. In your hands, you tryna rock with me. Like every time I'm moving on, you tryna bounce with me. And even when I walk alone, you tryna walk with me. And always blowing up my phone, just tryna talk to me. Just go on, Lucy.
Hey folks, you already know who I am, so I'll dispense with the introductions. We've got some controversy on our hands, guys, as you well may know by now, and boy is it absolutely hilarious. What's funny about it, you might ask? Well, what if a group of people are so obsessed with you that they set out to assassinate your character online? What if they created fake accounts to impersonate you just to make you look bad? Maybe that doesn't sound funny, but what if I told you this group of people consisted of a conglomerate of folks who support a man whose only claim to fame is lying, cheating, racism, and the objectification as well as degradation of women. And they want to play the racism card? Just look at this shit. How about if I told you one of these guys faked his death for personal gain? One of them has been slandering me all because I don't like the racist, misogynist cheater I mentioned above. One of these guys was bragging on stream about how many men and trannies he gets fucked by. One of them doxes girls for fun, and one of them is a predator. What's that? Doesn't sound like a group of people you'd want to associate with? I didn't fucking think so. You'd think a group of people with so much dirt on them would know better than to try and run a smear campaign, especially one as sloppy as what they've been doing, but no. Brace yourself for some square peg round hole shit. So let's present some facts. To begin with, these fucking retards made a fake Grim account, as well as a fake Zandiel account 3 weeks ago. Around the time Labs started having home problems, put that one in quotation, boys, because it's gonna get real. You might ask how else we can link these accounts to them. Well, before we get into that, let's look at the why, and then we'll tie everything together nicely. Now, when somebody commits a crime, what's the first thing you might look for in the line of suspects? Motive. So what would be their motivation to run a gay op against us? Why would they hate me in particular so much? Let's start with Scrape God Ours. A man who Vaughn happened to mention in one of his streams slandering me, which he has since deleted. Tampering with evidence much? What are you guys trying to hide over there? They like to attack me by saying I unlisted videos talking about people, but the only one I unlisted is my son's icon video because the dude admitted he fucked up and apologized. So I was being nice and I unlisted it. I didn't private it, I didn't delete it, so it's not hard to find. So who's the one hiding here? I've always been up front and I'm not out here deleting evidence, unlike them. Now let's break this down. Why does Ours hate me? We'll start with him. Well, once upon a time I had some beef with NBA, which is pretty well documented. And Ours, who had a vendetta, heard about this and he reached out to me. He told me he had been doxxed by NBA and he wanted to help. Well, after speaking with NBA in the league myself, I find out that Ours wasn't being entirely truthful about the situation, and what's more, he himself was leaking personal information about innocent people who had nothing to do with their beef. He admitted to it, and I washed my hands of him. Mind you, these people all talk about how much they hate NBA and how he doxes people, but wait, they're currently doing the same thing to members of the Clothespin server right now? Huh. What's the definition of a hypocrite?
The practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform.
Mind you, the person they're doxing in the Clothespin server is a minor, so good work, guys. Now, Ours kept begging people to get me to talk to him, and after he lied to my face and did these shitty things, I made a diss track for a little fun. A year later, Ours tried to clap back for clout and to lie and revive his dead channel. He even went so far as to go to Zandiel trying to slander me, but he failed. And eventually he ended up teaming with some other retards who don't like me. Now I'll take this time here to talk about the doxing issue because it's pretty fucking serious. How fucking dare any of you actually sit there and fucking call yourselves just? Nobody over here has done anything to leak anybody's information. Nobody over here is doxing anybody. Nobody's sharing PlayStation Lab information or anything like that. I'm not in this video doing anything like that. But yet, you're over there and you choose to target a high school kid who's a minor in the Clothespin server and dox them in the comments section of a YouTube video. Huh. Yeah, you guys are definitely on the side of the right, huh? Real warriors for fucking justice here we got. Now, back to ours. You have to be pretty obsessive to stalk another man online for that kind of time, right? But what about Endrance? Well, see, Endrance here is the type of guy who hides behind alt accounts to talk shit on people. You see this question mark guy account here? Yep, that's him. You can see from his videos he's been fanboying for perfection and obsessing over NBA for a while, but whatever. Now, my interactions with him start in Zandiel's server, where I expressed, among others, my dislike for perfection. You know, the same guy who talks about black women like this? Endrance immediately pressed me as to why I dislike perfection, after himself admitting to being a perfection dick sucker. That's right, Endrance openly admitted it. And now, I stated my opinion that anybody who acts like perfection online is an asshole offline too. And boy, did he get triggered. As you can see from some of these many screenshots, this boy started white knighting so hard. Guess he was being honest about that dick sucker stuff, huh? He was crying about how him and Fat Raikage, who shows up as deleted user in these screenshots because he's deleted his account, they both knew perfection in real life and how I'm not allowed to have a negative opinion of him based off his actions. And in fact, they got other people to attack me over my opinion as well. And, get this, they threatened to sue me for having an opinion online because I violated the law of the land? Huh? As my friend Capo would say, not the sharpest knives in the crayon box. Now let's move on to animes. Oh man, this fucking guy. So, he's some guy who is butt buddies with Endrance because they both love to dedicate channels exclusively to obsessing over NBA. But Animes takes it to a whole new level above Endrance. Look at this shit. They can make videos about whatever they want, but I wanted to show off some of their obsessive personality traits, just so you guys have a clue. Now, Animes is a man who started calling NBA a rapist. Now, I'm not going to examine these claims here too much because that would require its own video, and I'm not saying I have interest in doing that, just that it would take up an entire video in and of itself. But here in America, we like to abide by the fact that you are innocent until proven guilty, usually. And so I don't support the idea of labeling somebody as something so serious as a rapist or something, just based off some online accusations that have not been substantiated, okay? This is different to situations like in the Smash community where Zero admitted to things he did, okay? Now, Animes and Endrance were all caught up in love with this fake account named Jasmine Reed, by the way, who ended up alleging NBA raped her. They offered to pay her to come on with her story at one point, and they were so obsessed Endrance even made a video, but anybody with half a brain could see it was fake, and she deleted her account shortly thereafter. Now, Fat Raikage informed us in Zan's server that Perfection was also now calling NBA a rapist based on this information, and I cautioned them to be careful with what they state about people without evidence. He stated they received their evidence from Animes, and I had some concerns, obviously. Now, interestingly enough, shortly after all this, a new Jasmine Reed account would be created, making a video with no audio, just the same comment story she put in the comment section on one of the many NBA videos they were doing. Now, apparently NBA heard me speaking about the unsubstantiated nature of the allegations, and according to Animes, he used my statements to argue his case. This enraged Animes so much that he went and created a video about me. As soon as he did this, a myriad of fake league and new accounts on YouTube started popping up to harass myself and Zan. And as you can see in the videos I'm showing you, you can easily tell the fake accounts from the real ones. And notice all the fake accounts were created around the same time. Interesting. These accounts would harass us, but if you go look on Anime's and Endrance's channels, as I'm also showing on the screen, some of these same accounts are either sucking them off on their channels or having fake arguments with them to make the league look bad. Does that sound kind of familiar? Oh yeah, all the fake and alt accounts attacking us right now, they were created around the same time, and they frequent the channels of this group of people. They even staged fake arguments in Vaughn's deleted stream as well as on other videos, which you can see in my recording above, by the way, where the fake account is active in Vaughn's deleted stream, and every time I try to talk to contest anything, my comments are quickly deleted. But the fake account's messages are not deleted. You want to guess who one of Vaughn's friends and mods are? Oh yeah, it's Animes. By the way, in that same stream, Vaughn told me to keep his friends' Animes, Fat Raikage, Endrance, etc. out of my mouth. He even brought up ours. I wonder why he deleted this shit again, exactly. Now, the worst part of all this is that in an Anime's video about me, he straight up admits in his attempt to claim he's talking to real women with real accusations, besides Jasmine, which he admitted was fake, that he had to pretend to be a female Japanese rape victim so he could get these women to talk to him. He then proceeds to share some of their accounts and personal information. Now, let's fucking recap. Animes pretended to be a female rape victim to solicit allegations and prey on actual potential victims, and then he shared their stories and information on YouTube without their consent for clicks, clout, and to further his personal grudge against NBA. How do you define the word predator again?
A person or group that ruthlessly exploits others.
Now, you're probably aware of the PlayStation Lab situation at this point, but are you aware of some of his behavioral patterns? Now, these people have accused us of being happy somebody died, celebrating PlayStation Lab's fake death, which is not true. And myself, Capo, and Popo, who were in my video addressing the situation, never expressed this sort of sentiment. But you know who does actually celebrate people dying? Oh yeah, PlayStation Lab, when he used to go under other names. Yikes. Didn't some of these guys also bash NBA for calling Etika a coward? Pot calling the kettle black and all that, right?
No, this is where I found it necessary to join in on the video. I'm Professor Zeno, the editor for this video and a mod in the Clothespin server. I have been the investigator of this operation, gathering evidence and just looking at the behavior of PlayStation Labs and the other members of this whole gay ops, you could say. Once I dug into the backgrounds of these people, I found some very disturbing things. Let's get into that. So PlayStation Labs is a guy who used to be in the server, and he would constantly talk about his family problems. Now, eventually, he started making talk of suicide, and we attempted to actually talk him out of it at one point. But then he just started talking about his family issues non-stop, relentlessly. So one of the mods in the server decided to tell him to take it to DMs. Heck, he could DM him if he liked. Eventually, Mr. Labs posted a video called Goodbye YouTube, in which he said that he would commit suicide.
Just sick of it. I mean, 2020 has been a horrible year globally, but personally for me, 2020 I just can't take it anymore. I don't want to deal with this year anymore. I just can't take it anymore.
Of course, this didn't actually happen because about a week later, he came on Facebook saying that he was back and had control over his Discord account again. He came up with the story that he tried suicide, but it didn't actually work, which doesn't make sense because he only came back in about 3 days. He'd most likely be on either suicide watch or he'd still be at a police station of some sort. During the time that he went missing from the internet, he had one of his friends manning his Instagram account. Now, this friend didn't know what my Instagram account was, so I decided to weasel my way into a group chat of his. Now, a lot of the guys in these group chats seem to be, well, children. Now, that wouldn't inherently be bad, but considering how the guy who is manning Lab's account sent so much harassment towards these individuals, I find it very appalling. Labs and his friends are like, oh, why are you grown-ass men bullying this child, even though he's 18, when they themselves are harassing children? Not to mention an effort to dox one of the people in our server by going and finding their name on a school website. Now, let's get into Labs' Reddit posts. Now, he made several Reddit posts talking about his family situation, and every time, he would receive the advice that we gave him. Call CPS, go to therapy, and he would just be like, no, I don't want to call CPS, my mom doesn't want to. Even though, CPS, it's supposed to protect the child. It has nothing to do with the adult. Now, even then, PlayStation Labs was legally an adult at this time. He had been 18 for 2 months, so he couldn't have been helped by CPS. But he said he had several other siblings who could be helped by CPS, and he never actually decided to file a report. Also, before I leave the video and end it off here, I'd like to read a little Reddit post of his out loud. Sat on something by accident, got inside my ass while there was poop in there. And now, my stomach hurts. What do? Diet Coke down in the responses to this post says, go to the hospital. Now, this next part is something special. Logic Scope, also known as PlayStation Labs, responds, sat on a toothbrush, didn't go deep in. I took it out, and now my stomach hurts. Are you sure I should go? Not only that, my stomach feels full, etc. Like, how did he get a toothbrush up his ass? I mean, did someone, get one of those suction cup toothbrushes, stick it on a chair, and then all of a sudden he just doesn't notice it and sits down on it? I mean, even then, was he just walking around the house without pants? No. What my theory is, I think he was fucking himself with a toothbrush. Yep, that's right, my dude, you gay.
That he fucked me with a toothbrush. He fucked me with a toothbrush.
But hey, all of these guys seem like real stand-up gentlemen, right? You know, the kind who attack other people's innocent wives, like here with mine or here with Zandiel's. The same guys who have no problem admitting they will stoop as low as they have to for internet grudges. And you think they wouldn't do all this? By the way, can I just say these guys like to pull out the gay insults a lot, don't they? You know how they say that accusers are often guilty, or how if somebody constantly brings something up, it must be on their minds a lot? Well, wait, Vaughn bragged about getting banged by dudes and trannies on his deleted. Entrance admitted to being a perfection dick sucker in PlayStation Lab. Well, apparently he likes to fuck himself in the ass with his toothbrush. Now it all makes sense. Once again, while you have no evidence, I always pull up with proof. Keep deleting the evidence, but you can't delete my video. Stay salty, you dumb motherfuckers. Spend more time fucking each other and less time attacking people for clout. Maybe you should have been a little more discreet on who you told about all your bullshit, because your little friends gave us clear evidence of all your crap. And before they all start making excuses.
Let's get some pussy tonight.